trust you all are doing well. This lesson, or in this tutorial, we are going to be learning the A scale, and then we are going to be learning how to shift in Matthew's March. And so let's go ahead and let's get into it. First off, when we're playing a scale, it's always good to warm up. So let's go ahead and let's just play a D scale. So there's the typical D scale. Now to play an A scale, it's going to be slightly different. We're actually going to go down to the G string down here, and we're going to find our A, which is right there. And here it's sounding the same. It's the high A string right here. So for the A scale, it's going to be slightly different than our D scale. So whereas the D scale starts out with the fingers pretty much evenly close, the A scale is actually we're going to put the first finger, index finger here, we're going to place that on the A scale, and that's going to be our starting note. Then as we ascend, we're going to be stretching deep to the third finger for our B. Then we're going to be going to the C sharp right here with the pinky, and then we're going to be playing the D string here, and then continue in ascending order. And we'll go ahead and get into that. So let's go ahead and start with our A. This will take a little bit of practice to fully master. So then a good exercise to start is with I Love Orchestra. 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 Notice we're hitting the A string up here to finish it off on this. So then when you're coming down, you'll just I love orchestra, 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 I love orchestra. Now that is a good warm up there for the A scale. So then in playing the A scale, you may want to take your bow then. We're going to play this. Is a brief synopsis of how we play the A scale. Then over time you can play it with love orchestra pattern, then orchestra pattern, and then you can just play 8th notes. And if you get really proficient at it, then you just continue on to 16th notes. So we'll just notice you will also want to make sure you're spreading between your first finger and your second finger. Make sure you're giving the proper distance to make that A and B sound correctly. It's going to be a little different than the D scale pattern just because it's a further distance. So that is a quick synopsis on the A scale. Next we're going to move on to, we're going to be covering two things today in this tutorial. We already knocked out the one with the A scale. I'm going to be using shifting for Matthew's March. And let's go ahead and let's get into shifting. So what is shifting? Shifting is essentially using different fingerings for a different passage for different music. So for example, let's say you're playing if you're playing something that's generally written in D, you're going to want to use first position, which is just like the normals. That's first position right there. Reason it's first position is because we're playing the A, we're using our first finger for the B, which is 1 up. If we were to use the first finger on that C sharp, that would be second position, because now we've gone from first position here, second position. The usefulness and the reason that shifting is useful for our video or for our cause is because when you're having a piece of music, let's say for example it's written in A, and you're dealing with a lot of higher notes, or let's say it's written even in F, and you may be dealing with higher notes up here, you may want to use shifting because it's gonna allow you to reach those higher notes without having to do something crazy and ostentatious. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna practice Matthew's March using shifting. An easy way to find shifting, which position it is that can be the trickiest thing, is you just simply count. So this is the 0th position. First finger there, that's first position. If we go up to, that was A, B, go up to C sharp, there's second position right there. Go up to D, that's third position. So if we were to start out our fingers here, and start out our first finger on the D, and then continue to play, assuming it's on this high A string, of course, that would be third position. If we were to go up to E right there, that's the 4th position. So let's go ahead and let's begin by trying to play Matthew's March. And we'll go ahead and we'll just use second position finger. Actually, third position would probably be ideal for Matthew's March. What you would want to use is, so we're going to start the first finger on the C sharp. The reason for this simply is we're simply playing D and C sharp for the beginning of the piece. Now, obviously, your shifting is going to change when you have to play that B, but we'll go ahead and start. Say I moved my first finger down, and we did that. There you can see we went back to first position. And we didn't use any shifting there. The reason being, now you could shift, you could use a second position situation there. It's just easiest to use first position in this particular key. However, a second position would be fairly easy to use on the first section when you're playing on the A string here, or excuse me, a third position rather. Simply because you're playing C sharp or D, C sharp, and A for the first 3 measures you're playing, and so therefore it just makes it very simple to just have your index and finger and middle finger here. So that is a brief synopsis in shifting. So let's go ahead and let's add the bow in now that we've picked it. And that's always a smart idea, is just picking. Also another reason there that you can, that's another approach there, just simply by playing using the strings and then picking the strings with your fingers, pizzicato, which is that term, and then using the bow. And then, so I recommend using it slowly at first and use shifting sparingly. If you don't need to use shifting, there's no need to. However, if there's a key signature that you're struggling with to play it in just first position, you can consider using shifting, and then just find which position you're shifting in, and then you'll be able to play it hopefully adequately and be able to do what you need to do. So I hope this tutorial was helpful, and thanks for watching.